Monster Hunter Wilds is the 6th entry in the Monon franchise, marking the most impressive visuals to date. With 1.3 million concurrent players, the game has skyrocketed to fame. As to how and why it got so popular, allow me. We start the game by being introduced to our personal handler, Alma, alongside the expedition leader, Professor Fabius, whom veteran players might know. In their surveillance of forbidden lands, they quickly spot a kid pass out in the desert. They decide to take the kid and declare an expedition towards a previously uncharted land. And here, we get to the most time-consuming part of any modern Monster Hunter game, you. After spending way too long making your ideal chat, next step is your cat. After spending another half hour on the cat designer, you're finally brought into the game. Here, on board the sand ship, you swiftly get a flashback showing how you got here. You're then introduced to your very own posse, the boy Nata, your smithy, Gemma, and your improved quest handler, Alma. Not long after, we find another child in peril. This one somehow pissed off a billion Australian-sized worms. In a swift act, our hunter decides to commit Grand Theft Auto. On realizing the worms won't give up, we decide to smack one over the head with the fattest form of cutlery known to man. After saving the kid and learning that our brother's still in danger, we prepare to save him, but not before our mandatory weapon selection. Monster Hunter offers 14 weapons. The Olympic class cutlery, Weeaboo's Counter Dream, the Jack of all trades, Levi's Wet Dream, 800 pounds of concussion, Music that hurts, the Poke and Stab, the Poke and Shoot, the Indecisive Cutting Tool, Swiss Army Knife with extra steps, Helicopter and a Housefly, the FPS Experience, Balloon 6, and the Aimbot. After deciding on your means of saving the ecosystem, you swiftly head to the location where the brother is getting touched inappropriately by the smallest toad in the Amazon, Chotacabra. Here, the game teaches you the basics on hunting, how to use your weapons, tools, and most importantly, the slinger. The slinger acts as your essential secondary tool, gathering resources, destroying terrain to benefit you, and being used to distract monsters. With Chotacabra peacefully relocated, we take the brother to his sister. On reuniting the sister and brother, we are thanked and invited to their village so they can gift us for saving them. Before we head over there, we first make sure to get familiar with the base camp. Here, you also get to learn the core mechanic of Monster Hunter, crafting. Bring the necessary materials and Gemma will help upgrade your weapons, or create one of the many diverse armor sets, each with its own build and skills. Once acquainted with our base, we head to Kunafa, before being ushered away by the village guardian, Zato. When we return to base camp, we learn the Palicos in charge of supplies still haven't arrived. When we try to find them, it's revealed they're being chased by the chicken that roasts itself, Quematrice. Following the funniest cutscene in the game, and being reunited with our feathery friend, the Sacred, we are authorized to begin the hunt. This rooster also gives you a better chance to start learning dodging, which is essential when using a weapon as immobile as the switch axe. After putting the chicken 5 feet under, you and Isai come back to base camp, where Gemma outfits Sacred with a holster so you can carry a secondary weapon anytime you need to switch up your combat style to better suit the monster. Something I only learned later too is that you can name and color your Sacred. I introduce to you Goober, the dragon fruit sacred. Alongside being able to save you when knocked down, they also auto-track a monster and have some of the best and cutest interactions in the game, ranging from sneakily stealing a sausage to getting jealous and requiring pets, and so much more. With Zato's absence, we're finally able to enter Knafa, being greeted by Isai's family and brought inside for a feast. This cutscene alone caused restaurants in Japan to run out of naan bread due to how good it looked. Just look at that mouth-watering food. Alongside the good food, we also learned the village has been preparing for an upcoming storm. Following a good night's rest, our party is sent from the Windward Plains to the neighboring region, the Scarlet Forest. With the introduction of the new region, we also get introduced to the Astrum unit. Olivia, the Hammer main, serves as the leader, with Athos at her side, Eric the biologist, and Werner the sociopathic engineer make up the rest of the unit. Alongside our current goal of finding Nata's people, the Keepers, we are now also tasked with finding out why the Doshaguma have been appearing in the Windward Plains, which aren't its usual habitat. To do that, we are to first establish our campsite. With the campsite set, we move out to investigate. Eric getting himself snatched by the pretty princess, Lalabarina. After breaking the ballerina's ankles, we return to our campsite. On return, we see some honey badger looking Linians stealing our stuff. We go with them and learn they're called Woodwoods. In exchange for helping them take care of a monster causing trouble around their honey, we get our stuff back. On arrival, we get reacquainted with a returning monster, the fart monkey, Kongalala. Its power is stink. The smell it inflicts on you is so bad that you physically can't eat or drink anything until you've waited it out or sprayed deodorant on yourself. Following an onslaught of farting, burping, and chucked feces, we managed to plug a hole in the ever-obscene Kongalala. In our attempt to help the village, we go to the desert to save Zato, who's being chased by nature's own drill, the Balahara. In our attempt to escape together, one of the Balahara creates a quicksand trap, putting us face to face with a single one. We swiftly deal with the Balahara and hurry back to the village. No sooner do we finally convince the elders thanks to Zato, do we see the pack of Doshaguma enter the village looking for a feast. We release the livestock of the villagers, causing the Doshaguma pack to chase after them. With the disposal of the livestock amidst the other herbivores, we take our chance to get the alpha's attention, having it follow us into the sandstorm. With the bait successful, surrounding Balahara plant a trap to feast on the Doshaguma, creating one of the coolest early game cutscenes. With Balahara's failed attempt to deal with the alpha, we are authorized to engage the hunt. With the local pitbull put down, the Windward Plains enters the season of plenty. When we return from the hunt, we're thanked by the people of Knafa. After asking about the whereabouts of Nada's tribe to no avail and getting access to more sacreds for the Hunters Guild, we go to deliver some of them to the Astrum unit in the Scarlet Forest. Amidst the turbulent downpour, we see an SOS flare from the Astrum unit fly up. On arrival, we come across girl boss Olivia protecting Eric from the local bloated tuna, the region apex, Uthduna. With authorization granted by the guild, we engage the hunt. Uthduna relies off its sheer mass and water veil protecting it to throw around water. Break its veil and it loses defense but gains agility. After nearly getting bodied by the tastiest looking monster in the game, it swims away, only to see it later getting strangled by the White Wraith that attacked Nata's tribe. After its mysterious arrival and departure, we're ordered back to base camp. With recent discoveries in mind, we are ready to go meet the Wetweds. On our way, we learn this region is now experiencing its own season of plenty. Though we ask the Wetweds, they have no idea about the White Wraith. After they meet and get tribute from Zato, we follow him and his caravan to the next region, the Oil Well Basin. We get introduced to the leaders of the 3 tribes of Azuz, the Everforge. We soon discover that one of the oil folks' girls ran off to get auric oil in a dangerous area. On arrival in designated spots, we find an abandoned pot, but no Maki or Rokul. Out from the oil comes the reason, with more filler than an American celebrity, the Rompopolo. Following the dispatching of Rompopolo, we find Maki and Rokul hidden away, with Rokul having his back injured. Swiftly after returning to Azuz, all materials from the different tribes are collected and put inside the Everforge for the Fire Spring Festival. Though they open the furnace, the fire quickly goes out. Not a moment after, we learn the Windward Plains already has another sandstorm for some reason. On our return, we head out to investigate and find the regional apex fighting the White Wraith in the coolest monster fight cutscene. Though the apex puts up a valiant fight, it soon succumbs to the might of the White Wraith. As soon as the White Wraith leaves, the apex gets electrocuted back to life. In its anger, the flying railgun, RCAGH, sets its sights on us. We are then authorized to hunt down the RCAGH. RCAGH gets electricity from lightning, storing it in the crystals and parts of the outer scales, then funneling it through its horns and set crystals as heavy attacks.
Helicablam!
After one of the most visually stunning fights, we managed to dispatch the flying gun. Upon returning to the camp, we learned that the land spine seems to somehow affect the sandstorm. Following this reasoning, we returned to Azuz to find someone who could bring us to the oil well land spine. Following the land spine leads us through a frozen passage, which Nata remembers escaping through. As soon as we arrive in the new region, we immediately come across the best character ever made, Rove. You will listen while he talks.
Now death greets me with a new mask. I squirm, I struggle, ergo I am. Faced with death, I am finally, truly alive.
Along with the best region music comes the returning monster, the Gypsero Skinner, Nerscylla. Its black mantle is made from skinning a Gypseros, granting it impeccable resistance to thunder. Alongside that, it uses crystallized venom from the same monster and uses its own stinger to cause sleep. On top of all that, it also has the ability to bind you in a web. No sooner did we receive authorization to hunt, did we eviscerate the Australian spider. With the formal introduction of Rove, he assists us further into the Ice Shard Cliffs. Quickly, we learn the Ice Shard Cliffs is in fact man-made, but reclaimed by nature. While captivated by floating rocks, a pack of flying sour strips, Hirabami, attack us. We head into hiding and have a heart-to-heart with the Avis unit. After which, we theorize that the land spine is the reason for the seasonal changes. The damage in Azuz explaining why the Fire Spring Festival failed. With authorization granted, we engage the Hirabami. With the whaling kites out of the way, we hurry back to Azus to warn the people. We arrive in Azus only to learn Werner already fixed the land spine and sees no reason to worry. With the fire spring restarting, the energy overflows, causing surrounding monsters to become agitated. After the encouraging speech of Gemma, all people in the village work to manage the overflow, while we and Olivia move to deal with Flint and Steel, the Ajarakan. After tailing it back to its jungle gym, we manage to put the monkeys back to rest. We hightail it back to Azus, after which Gemma immediately jinxes us into another pack of monkeys. Before the Ajarakan can engage us, Davy Jones's pet comes up from the depths, the region apex, Nuudra. It proceeds to tear the Ajarakan down with it into the depths of the base. With exposition covered, we hightailed after the Black Flame. Nuudra, besides its bombastic music and many limbs, utilizes its oil-covered body to ignite itself when enraged. It can also breathe fire through its sides and can initiate blast blight. After ending the Tentacle Dream, we return to Azus to oversee the end of the Fire Spring Festival. With triumph and glee, they finish some of their best RCAGH sites yet, sharing some with us to upgrade our equipment. Following accounts on the Windward Plains base camp, we discover Nuudra melted away an area that halted our progress through the Ice Shard Cliffs. Following through, we enter the next region, being greeted by two pit bulls fighting each other, an unknown subspecies of Dushagma. With Princess put back in her beauty sleep, we take the chance to observe it, learning it has no reproductive organs and a white exterior just like the White Wraith. We finally reach the area where the Keepers live, and manage to find Nata's uncle, Tashin, alive and well. Though before we can talk, we get interrupted by Pikachu, an unknown subspecies, Rathalos. After getting thrashed around by the Wrath, we eventually managed to put it down, allowing us to finally meet with Tashin. Among the exposition, Tashin explains that the incident which caused Nata to escape took the lives of many in Sild. These deaths were all at the hands of RCAGH, who we knew as the White Wraith. We also learned that this region was the capital of Wyveria. This civilization was at the height of technology thanks to a tool known as the Dragon Torch, the thing that powers the wormways and therefore the weather using the energy it creates, wyvern milk. After setting up camp, we followed Tashin to a location named the Resting Place. Inside there is where the constructs known as Guardians generally lay dormant. The Arkveld, Rathalos, and Doshagama we saw are examples of such monsters, designed and artificially grown to serve the people of Wyveria, only requiring wyvern milk to survive. Before we get the chance to learn the purpose of Nata's pendant in the story, we are interrupted by 4 Guardian Sacred awakening, which then get viciously mauled by the Guardian Arkveld. Though the fight is brief, you get a good glimpse at how this extinct species fights using its chain-like appendages. After fending it off, we meet back up, learning that this Arkveld is deviating from Guardian behavior, feeding though it shouldn't need to, and surviving outside the ruins of Wyveria where the rest stay. To answer our questions, Tashin sends us to meet with the All-Harken by passing through the Ice Shard Cliffs. On arrival in the Ice Shard Cliffs, we meet up with the Astrum unit to ask Rove how to get to the All-Harken. After hearing the beauty of his speech serenade our ears once more, he informs us how to get to the All-Harken, and assures us the monster guarding the path there is gone. Following the treacherous path, we quickly find the ground shaking, with that very same monster tailing us. Coming from behind, the CPU cooler, the region apex, Jindahad. After brushing elbows with it for a minute, our group splits up, allowing the non-combatants to stay safe while we and resident girl boss Olivia move in to repel it. Jindahad utilizes the ridges all over its body to accumulate ice, using it as a means of traversing floating rocks and in combat. During its fight, we eventually break parts of the ridges, making its cooling organs falter. This causes its body temperature to rise, and in the third phase, initiate its ultimate. This attack requires you to knock down a rock of ice to survive. Following your supposed win over Jindahad by toppling part of the building over it, comes back to try and stop you escaping to the village. Through a miracle in the form of a short bridge, we manage to escape it and arrive at the village. After meeting some of the locals, we make it to the Wyverian known as the Allharken. She explains the Dragon Torch was man-made, allowing for infinite energy and the ability to regulate the weather and gravity. Their ultimate achievement was the creation of their Guardians, which kept them safe from anything or anyone threatening their way of life. Alongside another exquisite dinner, we get yet more exposition. While all other Guardians were made using a template monster, they also created one which used multiple monsters as a base to save them from the threat of a looming war. After all the exposition, we move our way downwards in the direction of the Dragon Torch. On the way down, we come across a New World Hunter's Bane, Clifford the Big Blue Dog, Guardian Ebony Odogoron.
Are you taking me?
Clifford put down, we aim to continue down, but are interrupted when the body gets snatched. Enter the Sultan Assassin, Shu. With Shu back in bin, we can finally descend down to the lower stratum. Upon arrival, we are greeted by synthetic blood smeared across the walls and hundreds of Guardian corpses in a pile being munched on. Though protests from Nata, we are authorized to hunt Arkveld for the sake of the ecosystem. It uses its chain-like appendages in tandem with its white energy, eventually biting into a cocoon to likely feed on a dormant ebony to gain its dragon element for itself. Through perseverance, we managed to defeat the Guardian Arkveld. Following our fight with Arkveld, we enter the Hall of the Dragon Torch. Inside the very Dragon Torch, we find a Guardian laying dormant. We later find out that this was the Guardian that Wyveria created to save them, Xochitl. Rather than obey its creators, it instead destroyed the civilization and chose to go inside the Dragon Torch to feed upon its limitless energy, potentially aiming to evolve from it. We learned that Nata's pendant can be used to stop the Dragon Torch permanently, causing Xochitl to die from lack of wyvern milk before its evolution. But doing this would irreparably ruin the Forbidden Lands ecosystem. Nata takes it upon himself to go disable the torch. Before Nata can use his pendant, we take it upon ourselves to defeat Xochitl instead. While this cutscene is easily the coolest one, I made a second character to try something, and the result was special. After witnessing God himself automaxing against one of its own angels, we, by our own order, begin the hunt. Xochitl seemingly embodies DNA and attacks from black dragons like the three Fatalis, besides incorporating countless attacks familiar to 5th gen hunters, It also mutates through each phase, regenerating whenever given the chance.
I'll just break stuff.
After a long and arduous fight, we succeed in felling the Zoshia. For now. With the defeat of Zoshia comes the end of the tutorial. In high rank, you'll get access to upscaled monster difficulty, yet more story, and all new monsters, including Fire Turkey, Flashbang, Frosty the Snow Monkey, Sentient Rock, Best Wife, Best Husband, Cybertruck, the most marketable plushie, Turn of the King. The late game also grants you access to 2 new variants of monsters, Frenzied and Tempered, each granting specific items when defeated. On top of everything, the game is also at the time of making this video in Title Update 1, returning Zoshia and bringing back the fan-favorite Fated 4 member, the big bubbly femboy, Mizutsune. While you wait on the remaining title updates, you and fellow hunters can also hang out at the Grand Hub, coming together to hunt. The game is also no doubt going to receive a massive DLC in the future, doubling the available content and story, along with its own free title update. There's no better time than now to install the new Monster Hunter, enjoying the new environment and new monsters with your friends. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video. Should you wish to support my channel, a like and subscribe would help a great deal in the channel's growth. Alongside this video, I've also opened a Patreon account for people who wish to see behind the scenes and current projects. Until the next video, adieu!